ये कैमरे में नहीं देखो। सामने सामने एकदम मैडम लोग और वेट 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 देख रहे हैं मैडम हम यहाँ पे राइट में सेंटर राइट है सामने एंड आई वांट समवन विद आई हमारा शो साथ में सेंटर अरे राइट या सेंटर होल्ड में बोथ ऑफ यू सेंटर लेकिन राइट में यहां सेंटर होल्ड भैया अरे राइट सेंटर अलग सेंटर नमस्ते नमस्ते look where center look thank you ma'am on the right center look and this camera center camera दूसरा साइड साथ में जाओ प्रिया आई वांट यू रिया तुम भी आओ अरे फोटो लेने दो यार यू आर टेकिंग Luncing come thank you so much where the poster यार क्या है तुम्हारा एक बार मुझे दे दो मैं बना देता हूं उसको पीटर ना Let's just stage this candid. Let's stage this. अरे राइट दिस कैमरा यार मैं हां या मैंने इधर देखा है कुछ नहीं था कुछ सामने ये देखा नहीं यहां पे राइट ओके Yeah, I know, it's really deep. Hello, guys. इधर तुम्हारा जगह इधर भी थोड़ी नहीं लगा एक जगह पे सेंटर वाला भी लग गया ऑलवेज ऑन द राइट हियर
क्या बोल दिखा दे सर
फाइट कौन कर रहा है मैं अरुण कुमार सर मार दो सर राइट यस सर यहां पे ओके सब समझ हां साहब इधर सबर सबर एक मिनट सब ठीक है भाई नमस्ते फोटो कर देखो पीछे मारो थोड़ा पीछे हां राइट क्या मैम डायरेक्ट फ्लैश राइट में यहाँ पे मैम सामने मैम सामने एकदम सामने मैडम
Right here?
It's hundreds and hundreds of hours of uninterrupted content, and I must add this, it's free, right? And it's voiced by celebrities who are right here in this audience, so let's give them a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for believing in the audio space and creating the best. Ladies and gentlemen, I for one literally cannot begin to Sunoing. But enough of talking, or I must say enough of fast talking, because there are so many cue cards here. It's time for us to just show and tell. And who better to show you what Suno offers and the incredible ride that you're in for than actually the celebrity talent themselves. So it's time for you to brace yourselves as we welcome on stage. Actually, you know what? You'll kind of see and you'll kind of Suno. Here comes our first ride.
टेलीविजन थिएटर वेब सीरीज करने के बाद
तुम्हारा बुरा चाहते हैं सामने आ जाए तो मन करता दो जड़ दो सालों को जड़ ना पाओ तो भी सोच का अच्छा लगता है। दूसरे होते हैं जाने दुश्मन जिनको मार के ही चैन मिल सकता है, मगर मार सकते नहीं क्योंकि वो भी कोई झूठे होते नहीं, वो भी तो मार सकते हैं। इसलिए मन ही मन गाली दे के काम चलाना पड़ता है और हमेशा बच के निकलना पड़ता है इनसे कि कब क्या करते हैं। और सबसे खतरनाक दुश्मन होते हैं तीसरे किस्म वाले, एकदम मादरचोद। ये होते हैं रिश्तेदार। इनको तो साला गाली भी नहीं दे सकते, पता नहीं उनकी माँ चोदने जाओ तो अपना क्या चुद जाए।
बेब्स, मुझे पैसों की जरूरत है। बेटर के जाते ही दुनिया की औरतों कितने 20। चिड़ी तो दिव्या पहले से बैठी थी, अब उसे गुस्सा भी आने लगा था। उसने अपना पर्स उठाया और देखने लगी। अभी 8-9 है मेरे पास, बाकी एटीएम से निकाल के देती हूँ। अक्षत उसे ऐसे देख रहा था जैसे दिव्या जू में आया कोई नया जानवर हो। भिखारी समझा है क्या? 1000 नहीं, लाख। हाँ, दिव्या को भरोसा नहीं हुआ। मुझे कल तक चाहिए, नहीं तो मैं इसका बॉस हो जाऊंगा। मैं कहां से लाऊं इतने पैसे? तू सोच। क्यों लाऊंगी मैं? और 20 लाख? तू पैसे की कीमत समझता है? दिव्या अब तक भड़क चुकी थी, पर अक्षत भी वहां प्रवचन सुनने नहीं आया था, क्योंकि चॉइस नहीं है तेरे पास। ये कहकर अपनी सबसे हरामी मुस्कान बिखेरते हुए उसने अपने मोबाइल पे दिव्या को एक फोटो दिखाया। दिव्या के पैरों तले जमीन खिसक गई। उसका टॉपलेस फोटो, एकदम हार्ट अटैक सा हो गया दिव्या को। इतने लोग आसपास बैठे हैं, जाने किसे क्या दिखा होगा। मम्मी सच कहती थी, ऐसे हरामी से बच के ही रहना चाहिए।
Left, on my left, the director of Thrill Factory, Anurag Kasyap Tappu, and wait for it, the very sexy Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Alright, so I'm going to walk up to you guys, give you this mic. So here's the little dope, right? The thing is that when I met Mr. Kasyap for the very first time, I was only an anchor. So I only did what you see me doing here this evening. And that man made me an actor, so ladies and gentlemen. And as an ode to him, we're twinning tonight. And he's also dressed in the logo colors, just for effect. All right. I don't know, Anurag. Yeah, that's easier. Anurag. Yeah, I can't call him so. So Anurag, please tell us, after holding the mantle of creating such incredible audio-visual stories, what was it like to create something that engages the audience and holds their imagination and makes their imagination run wild purely through audio? What was that journey like for you?
For me, this was the opportunity that came my way to actually feed my most base self-instincts. Like, something you grow up with, that gleeful Hindi pulp, and that Manohar Kahaniya, that Satya Katha, to bring that to life and do it in the way only Hindi-speaking North Indian can do. And I couldn't have done it without Pravesh Bhardwaj, who was actually the one who went through the effort of adapting all those Ved Prakash Sharma books. One of them actually inspired him to write his own.
Wow.
And to put it together with all that jazz music,
Yeah.
set to the dialogues that you heard Nawaz speak.
Yeah.
It was just such an incredible experience.
Yeah, like I don't have this in my list, but what was it like to play with absolute no censorship for you?
It is very liberating in the sense because this is what it is. This is what I grew up with. And I like the idea of having no censorship. Because then you can put yourself totally out there, unashamed.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. May I request you to please pass the mic on to Tabu. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Good to see you again. All right, please share.
गाली वाला मुझे क्यों नहीं दी कहानी?
आपको टॉपलेस वाला दिया ना मैम? क्या मैम?
खाली बोला है ऐसे।
मैम, तो प्लीज
अभी सेंसर हो जाएगा।
मैम, अभी प्लीज हमें बताइए आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा?
बोलने का
हाँ।
बहुत अच्छा था क्योंकि हेयर एंड मेकअप का टेंशन नहीं था। ना मिरर देखने की जरूरत पड़ी ना कुछ, फिर भी एक्टिंग तो करनी पड़ी, लेकिन सिर्फ आवाज से।
मजा आता है। आपको तो बहुत मजा आता है।
मुझे बहुत मजा है। एक्चुअली कन्फेशन कि आई लव डूइंग वॉइस ओवर्स। मैं अपने सारे डायरेक्टर दोस्तों को फोन करके बोलती रहती हूँ हर 6 महीने में कि कोई वॉइस ओवर करवाना है तो प्लीज मुझसे करवा लो। मैं स्ट्रगलिंग वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट हूँ।
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And yes, finally, a man so sexy. I mean, what a face, what a personality. He seemed. I thought Anurag और आपका divorce हो गया था ना, आप वापस आ गए, audio में भी. All right, so please tell us what it feels to you. I mean, what really goes through your heart and mind when you have to reveal each character, but just through your voice. And what does that feel like?
क्या?
नहीं कुछ नहीं समझ रहा जब मैं तो नहीं राइटर मुझे हिंदी की
नहीं मैं समझ गया थोड़ा एक्सेंट
नहीं तो मैं
एक्सेंट जो है ना तुम्हारा
नहीं वो एक्सेंट मेरा सिर्फ स्टेज पे आता है
थोड़ा सिंपल
नहीं वो एक्सेंट सिर्फ स्टेज पे आता है आप टेंशन मत लीजिए नहीं मतलब जब आप पर्दे पे आते हैं तो आपकी जो पर्सनैलिटी है वो आपके लफ्जों में आपके चेहरे पे नजर आती है मगर उसी पर्सनैलिटी को सिर्फ आवाज से दर्शकों तक पहुंचाने के लिए आपने क्या किया लिया मुझे हिंदी आती है
एक्चुअली जब हम लोग अपने उसमें रहते थे ना गांव में
जी
तो हमारे घर की खिड़की में शीशा था मतलब लकड़ी के दरवाजे थे
जी
ठीक है और वो दूसरे मोहल्ले में खुलता था हमारा जो घर था नहीं मैं आपको सुन लो पहले
आप मुंबई की बात कर रहे हैं ना
नहीं दूसरे
मुंबई में यही होता है आप अपना विंडो खोलो किसी और के कमरे में
नहीं क्या होता था जैसे हमारा ये विंडो है हमारा घर इस तरफ है
जी
और यहाँ पे एक कोना था
जी
तो यहाँ पे लोग अजीब से लोग आते थे और बातें करते थे तो मैं खोल तो सकता नहीं था वो तो बहुत ही अजीब से वाक़या होते थे वहाँ पे जो सुनता था मैं और सुबह के मतलब कोई जो सुबह की अजान होती है ना तब से शुरू होता था तो एक बार क्या हुआ कि एक लड़का और लड़की आपस में बात कर रहे थे। अब मैं दरवाज़ा लकड़ी का दरवाज़ा खोलूँ तो चर चर मर की आवाज़ आएगी, तो मैं सुनता था और कम से कम मैंने 1 महीने तक सुना लोगों की बातें।
1 महीने तक चलते रहे?
चलता रहा, बातें चलती थी।
अच्छा, ओके।
क्या होता था, बात आगे पीछे मुझे नहीं मालूम, बट वहाँ आके बातें करते थे वो। तो मैं सुनता था, मतलब उनकी शुरुआत हुई, रोमांस से शुरुआत हुई होगी। मुझे पता चला कि वो पहले दिन मैंने सुना तो आई थिंक उनका वो पहला ही दिन होगा उनकी बात करने का, और उनका ब्रेकअप हुआ 1 महीने के बाद। तो सारी चीजें, सारा पूरा कन्वर्सेशन मैंने सुना।
तो मतलब आप सिर्फ सुन के आपने अंदाजा लगा लिया कि ये लड़का ऐसा दिखता होगा?
मैंने सुन के अंदाजा ही लगाया कि लड़का बहुत बुरा था। आज मेरा एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है सुनने का।
See, Don, he's the real player, dude. He's been around. Thank you so much for sharing these stories. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thriller Factory, Anurag Kasyap Tappu and Nawazuddin Siddiqui. और अब ये जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं, प्लीज इतना दूर ना खड़े मुझसे। वो Anurag Kasyap नहीं। On any other day, you would just be listening to me, but now you're seeing me. Yeah, okay, no, that's not going anywhere. All right. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to join us this evening as we unveil something that is truly special, something that is truly unique, something that will ensure that you will never, ever be bored again. And I know I'm really excited, but I'm going to try not to get ahead of myself. The point is, you waited really long for this. I mean, a whole 18 months in the making and the becoming of it. And you will soon find out what we are unveiling. I mean, if you haven't figured it out yet, then you're definitely a late crasher. Ladies and gentlemen, as most of you already know, Audible is the world's leading seller and producer of downloadable audiobooks and other spoken word entertainment. After getting the Western world hooked onto audiobooks, Audible Premium set foot in India in November last year, and well, clearly the reception has been outstanding. So thank you, India, for making it such a success. You know, all those people who used to have pride, of having an Audible Premium account in the West, were just thrilled to have and attain and avail this service here in India. And the avid readers who are so hard-pressed on time quickly jumped onto the app so that they could enrich their lives one audiobook at a time. So before I go into any more textual matter, I'm going to give you this moment to soak it all in. Here's a quick peek into the Audible journey so far. Yeah? Well, yes, I mean, I was wondering too, why did he have subtitles on that video? But trust me, when he comes on stage, there won't be subtitles, so please feel free to absolutely take this person at face value. Please welcome on stage the man of the hour, the innovator, founder, ladies and gentlemen, Audible founder and CEO, Don Katz.
Well, thanks everybody. So I don't jog anymore, but I do continue to play ice hockey, which is why I leaped up here, because I pulled my hamstring. So that makes me wonder why I'm bothering to talk to you, but being me, I will go ahead and talk for a while. So look, I'd like to try to express how meaningful and moving the launch of Audible Suno is to me as the founder. And how humbled I am to be in the company of so much profound talent drawn from so many realms of this famously vibrant and deeply creative Indian artistic community. I was a professional writer for 20 years before Audible was created, writing long books and long articles, long narrative articles, and I tried to convey stories that are about people willing to die for a cause in global conflicts. I did that for years. I tried to humanize the dramas of organizational and economic life in books I wrote. And before that, I was lucky enough to have the great American novelist Ralph Ellison as my teacher and mentor. And from Ralph, I really learned what it meant to read, and I learned to hear the music in well-composed words. And so from Ralph, I learned that the sounds of an oral storytelling culture, the democracy of early American voices, really created the voice of American written literature. American writers like Stephen Crane and Mark Twain, they wrote like Americans when other American writers were still writing like Brits. because these writers listen to the stories of the street, they listen to the stories of the campfires and the boasting of salesmen and the lamenting of the slaves in the fields. So when I left the writing life to start a company, the New York gossip columnist said I had abandoned a perfectly good writing career and left text itself to make a company based on the power of the spoken word, something that wasn't really even a media mainstream phenomenon. So I used to give speeches defending my idea for Audible. I said that books and magazines were enabled by technological innovation, as was the world of film and TV. But that oral storytelling was the preferred mode of artistic expression for centuries, going back to the Greeks. India's own special oral tradition, from the Vedas to the Upanishads to the Kathas, the recitations of the Brahmin priests, were in our minds when we imagined Audible Suno. So it was 1994 that my writer's curiosity caused me to become obsessed by the idea that the future held everybody walking around these little digital devices packed with the civilization's most important words and ideas, which incidentally everybody thought I was crazy because it was way back when. But Audible was created in 1995. I was in my 40s. My wife still calls it a non-toxic midlife crisis. And I set out to build the first commercial digital audio player with a team of amazing people. This was 5 years before the iPod. And from there went on to become part of the lifestyle of tens of millions of people around the world who pay us to listen to Audible audio. So we've actually earned the loyalty of millions of listeners who right now spend 2 hours a day listening to Audible when they listen. We delivered 3.5 billion hours of paid listening to customers around the world in the past 12 months, and I'm proud to say that Audible's directly employed 20,000 different working actors around the world over the past 5 years. I didn't know there were 20,000 working actors, but there are, and I'm happy that we've been part of their lives. So we have these people principles that you have to understand to come to work with us, which I encourage you to check out. It includes statements of purpose that we try to really be different from other companies I know of. It says that we exist to pursue what a company can mean in ways that transcend what it does. This includes us working to address urban inequality in America by moving our company to one of the most economically disadvantaged cities, Newark, New Jersey, and doing many things to create change beyond sending checks to charity. The people principles for Audible Players also read, we serve the writers, actors, and other creative professionals who craft the words we deliver. At its best, Audible is an inspiration platform, a movement, a cause, and leaders who stand out operate at the cutting edge of the arts and sciences. We draw inspiration from artistic creativity, from the truths and wisdoms conveyed through the ages, from the most advanced of emergent technologies, and from the sciences focused on the study and calibration of the human condition. We hear the culture's drumbeat. I often talk about the seductive intimacy of an Audible listening aesthetic. It's usually a private performance. And a University College of London study found that listening to Audible is actually more emotionally engaging than watching TV or film, generating a more intense physiological, psychological, and emotional reaction. The images of the brain from these studies show up like it's all lit up, the globes of the brain that are part of emotion, as we take listeners away. So I've been thrilled to just meet so many of the amazing actors, writers, directors, producers, soundscape designers who've come to work with us in our amazing Audible India team. And from the start, I'm just amazed. But Audible Suno will start with Indian listeners. Just look at this. They will allow people to escape to other worlds, to cry, to be terrified, to laugh hard, to think about the realities of modern life because of Suno's fearless address of the modern realities of Indian life in so many levels. You can listen for keys to living a deeper and more spiritually informed life, or how to be inspired to achieve success in more material ways, or in whatever ways success is for you. I was proud to be here in Mumbai. It's only 13 months ago to launch our first Indian service, featuring 200,000 audiobooks and Audible originals for download, our 9th language outlet, and a service that is more popular than even our Audible dreamers ever imagined it would be. And today, we are all so proud of the powerfully performed words that are inside Audible Suno, and the many more original programs to come. the sound of the future. And we've decided to make this, as you probably know, the first all-free service that is launched completely free and completely without advertising. And we'll also include our best in the world, you can kind of look this up, personalized customer service support for every listener, even though it's free. This is how proud we are to be part of India's profound and impassioned storytelling. I love being a writer because I could get an idea about a story and I'd work hard and I'd make it real. And I'm proud that an idea that most people thought was crazy back in 1994 has become Audible. And I'm thrilled and grateful to witness the idea for Audible's Suno becoming real tonight and so quickly, and to be here to celebrate with so many of the world's, not just India's, most talented individuals. So thank you all for being here.